welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the DIY Whammy kit. And you can get this from DIY Audio, and I'll leave a link below. But the specific kit that I have that was sent to me by a buddy is his custom casework on this and custom design layout for how he got everything routed. Next level. It's gorgeous. And so thank you to you for sending this out and let me have a chance to hear it and play with it. And I look forward to eventually hopefully convincing you to make a case like this for me. Anyways, on to the build and aesthetics of this. This is a DIY Whammy kit that has a full custom casework, and the build and aesthetics of this specific build are next level. Like the casework and the CNC machine work and even the CNC of the wood inlay is like, it's just straight next level. It's so well polished, so well put together, and I mean the artistry of it as well, like just the way that it comes together and the way it looks with that wood inlay, with that kind of like water droplet or like a audio waves maybe coming out, is just fantastic. This thing just looks and feels amazing. And the volume knob has a lovely feel. It's a CNC machine volume knob, and it has this really cool LED lights. As you move it around the volume, it will actually change the color to like a different hotter color, what have you. I think it starts at like blue. Yeah, so it starts at blue and it moves into like a purple or reddish purple color towards the higher end when you're getting a little bit into the overly loud probably for most things. So let's see, as far as sound goes with this, it's good. Like this is the first time hearing a Whammy kit, and this one it's good. Like I really dig on this a lot. Like it's kind of surpassed even some of my other amplifiers that I like that I've had in the past, and like I really want to build one now, and I'm trying to convince my buddy to do a case like this for me, because I love the case. It's just straight art, and that resonates with me very much. And then the sound profile out of this it's clean, punchy, but lots of power behind it in the right places. Like the low end just is very punchy, very slammy, very clean. It made my HD800 sing, and then it has just a lot of control there and a lot of power, it feels like, in the right spots to let the headphones perform where I like them to perform. I like a little bit of low end, like that slam and punch. I'm a big fan of that. And with my different headphones I've tried, I did all my ZMFs, I did the Focal Stellia, the HD800s, the VC, VO, Aeolus, Rad Zeros, what have you, and they all just lovely with this. This amp is just fantastic. So I'm very impressed with the DIY Whammy kit, and for $300, like that's pretty impressive. So very cool. The one thing I will say though is the kit that you would get normally does not have as beautiful of a casework. It's pretty generic casework for it, so take that into account. You can obviously, depending on how much you're willing to spend, I'm pretty sure this is very expensive to build a casework like this for this specific amp, because it's all custom CNC machined, a custom CNC, the woodwork is all custom CNC'd, and then he sanded and polished it and whatnot, stained it, and then the custom LED work and whatnot. But I'm thinking, and I'm guessing here, but it's well over $1,000, I'm pretty sure, for this amp right here, how it's built currently. I'd bet, based on materials and the custom work, hours put into it, that kind of thing, well, easily well over $1,000. So take that for what it is. But as a DIY Whammy amplifier kit that you can just get from DIY Audio, honestly, one of the best deals you can get in audio. Between if you want like a great combo, it would be like a bottlehead crack with the DIY Whammy, and you'd probably be so stoked for your headphone listening use case, and you'd be well under $1,000 for two amazing amplifiers in both the tube and solid state world. So I think that those two are fantastic options for those on a budget kind of deal. And then also, if you wanted to be a DIY, you're in that DIY space, so if you wanted to do custom stuff, you wanted to build on it, you can, and that's really cool. I really dig on that a lot. And then going back into the sound of this, the low end was super slammy, super controlled. I really loved it. I just made all my headphones had that little extra oomph, and I really dug on that a lot. The mids were pretty well controlled, same thing, all the way up to the treble. And obviously amps they're going to color to some level your headphones, but your headphones are more giving you that flavor than the amp itself. But the amp, this one, I felt really highlighted the strengths of the headphones that I have here, and also some of the weaknesses. So, for instance, with some of the treble on some of the tracks, like so with my HD800s here, the treble would get a little bit kind of bright with kind of not the best mastered tracks, but with other stuff, it was like such a wonderful pairing. Like I was really loving the pairing of the HD800 with the Whammy kit. Then probably my next favorites was the Stelia. The Stelia, for whatever reason, it even controlled it even more. So it didn't become overly boomy or anything like that, but it did become more controlled sounding with the Stelia for whatever reason. It was a little bit less forward though, but overall was fantastic pairing. And then my favorite pairing, as much as I like the VO with it, so I was rocking the VO with it, my favorite pairing was actually my VC, and actually have it all put together with my headphone stand, so I'm going to have to just grab the whole thing. But so this pairing was just, it became this punchy, slammy, just super enjoyable listen, and I really was digging on that pairing a lot. So as far as the sound profile for this, it's very clean, has a lot of punch and slam. The mids are very well controlled, and the highs can get bright depending on the headphone you're using. So like HD800, I felt, and even the VO at certain tracks that weren't their master a little brighter maybe, were kind of pushing towards that sibilance a little bit, but not anything that was super uncomfortable or even would make me like, oh, I don't want to listen to this. But yeah, so take that into account. But it's just highlighting what the headphones are doing, and it's doing it very well. So I was very impressed with the sound signature out of this thing. And yeah, honestly, I can't wait to build one and have one on my desk again. And with that, so I actually have in-house an Inlium, I'm probably pronouncing this horribly, Inlium 23R amp, which is a next level solid state amplifier that actually I'm using it to power my Kefs as well. And I'll do a video on that here in the near future. But that thing, it's fantastic, and you can tell the difference between these two for sure. And I would say that the biggest difference would be like the Inlium to me versus the Whammy. The Inlium is like if the Whammy out of like a 10, the Whammy would be in comparison directly, not in general, but just in direct comparison to each other. The Whammy would be like an 8. And then the Inlium would be like turning it to 12, because we're going past 11 now. But it's the Inlium is just that much more of the kind of similar signature. It's very clean, punchy, very just gets out of the way, but just accentuates everything that the headphones or speakers are doing. And I really like the Inlium. And then the Whammy is just kind of like that same family of like sound, but just a little bit stepped below. I will say that the noise floor between the two, the Whammy had more noise on the noise floor sooner on the volume. But that being said, neither of them would I ever listen to when the noise floor kicked in. Would I ever actually be listening to anything, because you'd be blowing your ears out, because it's way above where I would consider. Talking well into the 100 decibel range if I was playing music, and I don't play music at that level. My comfort level is around 75 to 85 with peaks into the 90s is where my usual preference for listening to audio is, especially headphones. And so between the Inlium and the Whammy kit, the Inlium is definitely the next level up, and I'll do a video on that at another point in time. But anyways, just want to do a quick comparison because it was on the desk and it was there when I was doing B-roll and stuff. So and I did a quick compare because I really like the Whammy, and having the Inlium here really showed me how awesome the Whammy is for that price point. Like, that's really cool. So on to the next thing, which is, does it game? And it's an amp, so of course it games. You just plug headphones. It's more about the headphones. But I will say that it powered the HD800s exceptionally well. It actually gave them a little more life as far as engagement. Usually the HD800s would be more of a you're looking for that detail at stage, the imaging, so you can like play PvP type stuff. But with the Whammy, because it engages that low end a little bit better with more power behind it, I was actually having a lot of fun even in just the single player stuff. So Elden Ring, I was playing a little bit of Destiny single player, and then I played some Halo PvP, and it was like really cool that you can get the the imaging and that kind of stuff with it, and it does a really good job. I found that it, for an amp, it's fantastic for a gaming amp, I guess, but it's massive, so I wouldn't necessarily think that's the best for a fully, truly gaming setup, but it worked. That's all that matters, right? So anyways, on to final thoughts. Stupid good. Like, honestly, the artwork of this thing alone makes me want it. The fact that it sounds as good as it does, and the feel of the volume knob, like the feel of the metal itself is just so well polished and put together, like fantastic. And seriously, like, highly recommend putting together a Whammy kit if you have the cash or you're looking for a solid state. The sound of this, like, I honestly can't recommend it enough, especially for the price. It easily, like, I personally, I feel like it beats my Phonitor easily. It beats most of the solid states I've heard, especially in that price range. Like, it's, if you're willing to do a DIY, this is the thing to get for sure. And with that, I guess I'll let you all have the rest of your day back, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.